you are proceeding further with the details of the heart cross anatomy. Heart cross anatomy, some grooves and some surfaces. So when you're talking about the surfaces and grooves of the heart, can we see some diagram? Yes, you have to see the diagram and then draw the diagram. So where is the diagram? Oh, dissected specimen of the heart. Yes, dissected specimen, because the examiner is giving you dissected specimen in the computer. You have to identify things. Okay, let us magnify this interview. Now I will see what is this. I think this is the ascending aorta. Yeah, this is ascending aorta. This is the arch of aorta. And arch of aorta giving some branches, which is brachiocephalic trunk here. Yes. And this is the left common carotid artery. Yes. And there is the left subclavian artery. 3 branches from the arch of aorta. Yes, 3 branches from the arch of aorta. You have drawn that earlier also. Brachiocephalic trunk, left common carotid artery, left subclavian artery. I think then we got some pulmonary trunk. Yes, that is the pulmonary trunk here. You can see, and that pulmonary trunk is dividing into some pulmonary arteries towards the lung. You can see one more thing. This is the right ventricle. If we say this is the right ventricle, this is the major contributor to the anterior sternocostal surface of the heart. So that is the right ventricle, yes, and it is the major contributor to the anterior sternocostal surface of the heart. But there are other contributors also for the anterior sternocostal surface, like who? Like you will see that it is partly contributed by the right atrium also. So this is right atrium, yes. It's contributing to the anterior sternocostal surface, yes. Who else is contributing? It is also, yes, the left ventricle. So this is the left ventricle which is contributing towards the anterior sternocostal surface of the heart. Yes. Okay. What is this? This is actually the left auricle. So that is the left auricle. Is the left auricle, which is the ear-like projection from the left atrium, also contributing towards the anterior sternocostal surface? Yes, all the 4 chambers are contributing, though major contribution is right ventricle, and then there is contribution from right atrium and left ventricle, and there is also contribution from the left auricle, which is coming from the left atrium behind the heart. If you say so, fine. Let us look at the posterior of the heart now. Yes, because that is where you have 2 surfaces, the posterior surface and also the inferior diaphragmatic surface. So there will be a posterior surface and inferior diaphragmatic surface. Yes, why would you say so? Because it is related to diaphragm, that's why. So can we see the posterior view of the heart now? Yes, it is seen. What do I see there? What you see there is coronary sinus in the coronary sulcus posteriorly. So this is coronary sinus. It is in the coronary sulcus posteriorly. Yes. Are you trying to say this is the coronary sulcus here? Yeah, that is the coronary sulcus, which is separating atria superiorly and ventricle inferiorly. Yes. This is the coronary sulcus. It is also called AV groove. So this is coronary sulcus from the posterior side, having coronary sinus there and separating upper atria from the lower ventricles. Yes. And what about the atria? Can you see here superior vena cava? And can you see the inferior vena cava? Oh, superior vena cava, inferior vena cava. I think then this is the right atrium. Yes, that is the right atrium. Because in the right atrium, you'll have the opening of the superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. Then what is opening into the left atrium? What is opening into the left atrium, you can see here, is some vein here, vein here. Are you talking about the 4 pulmonary veins? Yes, 4 pulmonary veins. 4 pulmonary veins. So you are telling that this is the posterior of the heart and showing the 4 pulmonary veins which will open to the left atrium. Yes, and remember, these 2 atria together will form. These 2 atria together will form the posterior surface of the heart, which is also called base of the heart. So this is the base of the heart or the posterior surface of the heart. Yes, majorly contributed by left atrium, partly contributed by right atrium also. Remember, the posterior surface of the heart, which is base of the heart, is majorly contributed by left atrium and partly contributed by The right atrium also. Then what about the ventricles? Ventricles actually are two of them, and this is the right ventricle, and that is, if you say this is the right ventricle, then that will be the left ventricle. And when you are talking about the ventricles, they are actually sitting on the diaphragm, and because they are sitting on the diaphragm, they are called as the diaphragmatic surface. You mean to say both the ventricles are sitting on diaphragm? Yes. And this is the diaphragmatic surface? Yes. Who is contributing diaphragmatic surface? The two ventricles. Two ventricles. This is the diagram which we are going to revise now again and see. What is this? This is the anterior sternocostal surface contributed majorly by the right ventricle, and some contribution also by the right atrium, and then also by the left ventricle. And what about the auricle? Yeah, auricle is also coming. It will come. Auricle will also come. Left auricle. I think there is some vessels here in the right coronary sulcus. Yes, there are. It is right coronary artery. And then there is some vessel here in the anterior interventricular groove. Yes, there are vessels in the anterior interventricular groove. This is what we have to discuss now, and let's do that. See, anterior, which is the sternocostal surface, is having 4 contribution for the 4 chambers, but major contribution is, it has all the contribution for the 4 chambers, but the major contribution is the right ventricle. This is actually right atrium minor contribution. If you say that is the right atrium, then this is the major contributor, right ventricle. Yes, it is related to sternum and the ribs. That's why it is called sternocostal surface. And what is this? This is the left ventricle partly contributing. And who else is contributing? That is the left auricle. Now, this much you know, you have to go further. You have to see, this is called as the AV groove, right AV groove, or this is called right coronary sulcus. If you say this is the right coronary sulcus or right AV groove, right atrioventricular groove, what is inside that? Right coronary artery. Branch of the ascending aorta. So ascending aorta gave you the right coronary artery, and this is running in the right coronary sulcus. Yes, not only anteriorly but also posteriorly. You mean to say right coronary artery running in the right coronary sulcus anteriorly as well as posteriorly? Yes, and when it was running posteriorly, it was followed by small cardiac vein. So small cardiac vein is following right coronary artery posterior to the heart. Yes, but why the small cardiac vein is going posterior to the heart? Because it has to drain into coronary sinus posterior to the heart. So you are telling that this small cardiac vein is supposed to go posterior to the heart to drain to coronary sinus, which is in the coronary sulcus posteriorly. Yes, it is in the coronary sulcus posteriorly. There it is, will drain. And I think this is the location of interventricular septum. Yes, it is the location of interventricular septum. That is where you have interventricular groove, and it is called anterior interventricular groove. So this is interventricular septum on which you have anterior interventricular groove. Along with that is the artery also, anterior interventricular artery. So there is anterior interventricular artery in the anterior interventricular groove. Yes. What is it doing? It is supplying the anterior 2/3 of interventricular septum. So you are telling that the AIVA is going to supply anterior 2/3 of interventricular septum here. Yes. Along with that is running a vein which is called great cardiac vein. So along with AIVA is running some great cardiac vein. Yes, you see here, the great cardiac vein will form at the cardiac apex. It will form at the cardiac apex, and from there it will accompany the AIVA in the AIVG, and then it will go behind the heart. It'll go behind the heart. Why is it going behind the heart? Because, you know, may it be great cardiac vein or small cardiac vein, they go behind the heart to drain into coronary sinus, which is behind the heart. Oh, they are not going to enter the coronary sinus, which is behind the heart. Yes, we'll see the diagram later also. But here is the posterior view of the heart. So now we are looking at the posterior view of the heart. Yes. And you see, this is the posterior of the heart, where you will find that there were 2 ventricles. There was the left ventricle and the right ventricle, and they were diaphragmatic surface sitting on diaphragm. Then you were having this right atrium, and there was this left atrium, and they were forming the base of the heart or the posterior surface of the heart. So that's the diagram we have to see. Yes, you also have noted that there was this corner sinus which is in the corner sulcus posteriorly. You also notice that there is the interventricular septum where you see interventricular groove, but it is on the posterior side. So posterior interventricular groove, yes, posterior interventricular groove. Let us discuss the detail now. You are looking at the posterior view of the heart, and what you find is that this is the right atrium posterior view. But how do you know this is right atrium posterior view? Because in the right atrium is the opening of superior vena cava, inferior vena cava. If you say superior vena cava, inferior vena cava opening into the right atrium, fine. What is opening into the left atrium? Left atrium, if you look at the posterior view, you will have 4 pulmonary veins opening. So these are the 4 pulmonary veins which are opening into the left atrium posteriorly now. Yes. And what is this? This is the left ventricle. This is the cardiac apex, you know. Cardiac apex, left ventricle. Yes. You are looking at the left ventricle from posterior view. Yeah, posterior view, left ventricle, and this is the right ventricle. Remember, this is the right ventricle and that was the left ventricle. Both of them are sitting on the diaphragm, so they are called as diaphragmatic or inferior surface of the heart. So both these ventricles sit on the diaphragm, and this is inferior diaphragmatic surface of the heart. Yes. You will see on that there is the location of interventricular septum. On the location of interventricular septum, you have interventricular groove, and in the interventricular groove, you have the interventricular artery. Are you talking about PIVA in the PIVG? Yes, that is what? Posterior interventricular artery in the posterior interventricular groove, supplying posterior 1/3 of the interventricular septum. So you're telling that this is going to be PIVA in the PIVG? Yes, PIVA in the PIVG. That means posterior interventricular artery running in the posterior interventricular groove, supplying the posterior 1/3 of interventricular septum, and is accompanied by the middle cardiac vein. And where the middle cardiac vein going? This PIVA is accompanied by the middle cardiac vein, and middle cardiac vein is obviously going in the same place where all the veins were going. Where? In the coronary sinus. So you're telling that this is coronary sinus into which all the veins go. What is this vein? That was actually middle cardiac vein. If you say that is the middle cardiac vein, then which vein came from the right side? It was following the right coronary artery, and it is a small cardiac vein. So small cardiac vein came from the right side. Which vein came from the left side? The vein which comes from the left side is great cardiac vein. So great cardiac vein came from the left side. Yes. And small cardiac vein came from the right side. Yes. Both go behind the heart and drain to coronary sinus. And where the coronary sinus is draining? Coronary sinus, you remember, embryologically, it must be draining into posterior wall of the right atrium, posterior wall of the right atrium, along with the superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava. So there are 3 openings in the posterior wall of the right atrium, and there is superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, and also coronary sinus from the posterior side. With that orientation, you will see that this is the base of the heart, or posterior surface of the heart. This is a question already. A question has come. Tell me the base or posterior surface of the heart. Chiefly, it is the left atrium, and partly it is the right atrium. So chief contribution with the left atrium and part contribution with the right atrium. With that overview, answer the question. It is asking the base. If it is asking the base, then I'll tell you. Yeah, what will you tell? That the base is contributed by this. Who is the chief contributor? It is the left atrium, and partly the right atrium. This is the question which is asking you the chest x-ray and the right border of the heart, what is not contributing or what is contributing. So chest x-ray, right border of the heart, yes, is contributed by, yes. I think it has no answer. Yes, it has no answer, but still you have to give one answer. Give me one answer. I cannot give one answer until I see the x-ray. Let me see the x-ray. So let us do it. This is the x-ray, and this x-ray is taken from a book, but I'm doubtful that it is the correct x-ray. You are doubtful that it is a correct x-ray? It's a wrong x-ray. Maybe. But see, what they are showing is the superior vena cava and ascending aorta. So what is wrong about that? Ascending aorta cannot be in the right border of the heart on chest X-ray, but it is shown there. Yeah, that's doubtful. Then what should be there? It should be superior vena cava and the right atrium and the inferior vena cava. So you are telling that ascending aorta should not be there normally? Yeah, I don't think that it should be there. But what is in the diagram? In the diagram they are showing superior vena cava and the ascending aorta and then the right atrium and then the inferior vena cava in the right border of the heart, chest X-ray. But I'm doubtful about this. Why you are doubtful about this? Let me show you. See, this is the chest X-ray and normally what should it have? Three things. What is the three things? Superior vena cava and the right atrium and the inferior vena cava. That is the right border of the heart? Yes. Tell again, what is this? Superior vena cava and inferior vena cava entering into the right atrium. Okay, right atrium. So these three things will be there. In the right border of the heart? Yes. I really doubt that ascending aorta can go there. But some books definitely show the ascending aorta here. So in your opinion, ascending aorta cannot be the right border of the heart? No, how can it be? See here, this is the superior vena cava, this is the right atrium, this is inferior vena cava, ascending aorta is there. What about the right auricle? Right auricle is here, this is right auricle. So right auricle cannot be in this right border of the heart? No, it is not right auricle, this is right atrium. So right atrium is there, not the right auricle? No, right auricle is here. This should be right atrium. Okay, so this is the right border of the heart. Three things. Yes, I'll show you this thing again. But this is one book by Braunwald for the heart diseases and you see one X-ray. This is the X-ray which we have discussed just now and it is showing something which I don't really agree with. What is it showing? It is showing this ascending aorta where in the right border of the heart. So this is the book you were referring to. Yes. So ascending aorta can be in the right border of the heart or not? No, I really doubt it. But it is shown there. Yes, it is shown there. So that's why I'll give you the answer now. As you see, this question, it was asking us about the chest X-ray and PA view. It was asking the right border. So what do you think about the right border? Actually, what I will search for is superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, and also the right atrium. Be careful, it is right atrium and it cannot be the right auricle. So I am searching for the three, none of that is there. What should I do? In this condition, you have to follow the Braunwald heart disease and you are telling ascending aorta is the answer. So ascending aorta will be the answer? Yes, because we are referring to Braunwald heart disease there.